Okay, game number 6 from the Garden, Madison Square Garden, New York, New York. As the Knicks take on the Celtics, the New York Knicks are one game away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals to take on the Indiana Pacers, as they will try, if they can win today, obviously, to get their get back from last year's postseason against Indiana, and the Celtics will look to move a game closer to potentially their rematch in the Eastern Conference Finals for a second straight year against, again, those Indiana Pacers. But a huge game 6 tonight. Winner moves on if you're New York. Boston in need of one more victory to get to a game 7. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets. Thunder Nuggets last night. Oh man, are the Thunder in trouble? I still don't think so. I think they're gonna win game 7, but again, I expressed my concern about the Thunder yesterday. If you want to see that, go check out our video yesterday about how I don't think they are the favorites anymore to win the NBA Finals. I do believe that's the Indiana Pacers. I think, again, I still think OKC's a piece away, and I said it yesterday, it starts with J-Dub. We saw yesterday, right? If J-Dub is going to have nights like that, the Thunder are not winning a championship this season because he needs to be a viable number 2. But if he's having nights like that where he can't even make a dunk on a fast break, we have problems in OKC. Shea's great. Not his fault. And by the way, some very tic-tacky calls in the second quarter to get him to 4 fouls. And we're going to get to the fouls in a second here between Boston and New York. Also, folks, make sure to go check out our MLB Best Bets. That is linked in the description down below. And on Greedo Plays MMA this week, our UFC Fight Night Burns versus Morales full card predictions. Make sure to go check that out. Link in the description down below. And go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA as well. Okay, the one game today, Knicks Celtics. I am going with the Knicks again. And I get it. Oh, I've been sleeping on the Celtics for a while. I guess I have. It's just I don't think they can win on the road without Jason Tatum. They had a great game 5. A game 5 that I didn't think was going to happen, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I don't want to get into the third quarter shenanigans, but I will. I did find it a little bit fishy that, Brunson all of a sudden picks up 5 fouls in the third quarter. I know what you can say. Well, Jalen Brunson's offensive bag and game does really rely on foul calls too, which I actually get, and that's a very valid take. But I just feel like a lot of those calls were kind of like, really? We're going to give it to him? I don't know. Boston shot a million free throws in the third quarter. It is what it is. Ended up winning them the basketball game, and obviously you can't give Boston that many shots from the charity stripe because they are going to hit their three-pointers eventually, and obviously that's what happened in game number 5. And that's the concern I've had about New York. It's like, all right, yeah, they've won games in the series. They're up 3-2. But the games they've won against the Celtics have been historically bad games for the Celtics plus game 4. Right? Game 4 is just a really good win for the Knicks. Can the Knicks get them at home today? I ultimately think yes. I don't think the Celtics are able to replicate what they did in game 5. I think that was kind of just a response game, okay, we don't have Tatum anymore. We got to win for our star player, our top 10 player in the sport. Derek White, we said, needed to have a monster game in Game 5, and that's exactly what Derek White did. The former All-Star played 40 minutes, 34 points, 7 for 13 from beyond the arc. Again, propelled the Celtics to victory. Jaylen Brown got to play as a number 1, and he did a very good job in doing so. JB with 26 points, 9 of 17 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Al Horford hit some big threes when needed. Drew Holiday hit some big shots, 14 points, and big threes when needed as well. Kristaps Porzingis, I don't know what's going on with him. He's got an illness. He only played 12 minutes in that game, as Joe Mazzulla said that he was having trouble breathing during the game. So obviously Peyton Pritchard ended up playing most of his minutes. Pritchard ended up going 39 minutes, 6 for 17 from the field, but 5 for 14 from the three-point line. Again, that's just Boston Celtics basketball in 2025. Pritchard with 17 points. And Luke Kornet actually gave Boston some huge minutes as well. Kornet played 26 minutes. Again, most of his shots are just lay-ins or dunks, but Kornet goes 5 for 5 from the field and scores 10 points as well. The Porzingis thing is weird. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what illness he has. Not to make, light of any of these, but there is something that's circulating around that he has a version or some sort of an STD. I'm joking. I think that's just a joke on NBA Twitter, right? It's got to be, right? I think it has to be. No shot he actually does, right? Because I saw someone on NBA Twitter legitimately breaking it down like, oh, Porzingis has all the signs of having like hepatitis or something. I don't think that was the exact STD that was mentioned. I don't know how this relates. No, this does relate to basketball. I saw someone saying he got what Magic Johnson got. I don't think that's the case, But, and actually that's pretty messed up to bring that into this, because I think Porzingis is just sick, but it's weird because I don't think there's an actual illness that has been said yet, right? Again, I'm not making light of the situation at all. I'm just, NBA Twitter makes light of every situation though, so I thought I'd bring it up. Okay, we've mentioned tweets before from NBA Twitter where Houston Rockets fans are saying that, you know, they are Steph Curry's slaves. So like, again, it's just NBA Twitter is NBA Twitter. Regardless, right? Porzingis, I don't think the Celtics can rely on Porzingis to play many big minutes. Will he still start? I don't know, but pretty much Pritchard is their fifth starter, honestly. Pritchard is the guy who's going to play clutch minutes for them when Horford goes out of the game, right? That's Luke Kornet minutes now, which ultimately, you know, initially going into this series, was I thinking, okay, Luke Kornet was going to be a big factor of whether or not the Celtics were going to advance? No, but now here we are, and Luke Kornet legitimately is a big factor into if the Celtics are going to move on or not in this series. Again, I just don't think they're going to be able to shoot the way that they did in Game 5, though. That's my thing about this game. And honestly, going into the third quarter and at halftime, this game was tied. And then that third quarter happened. Sure, the Knicks didn't shoot the ball that well, but at the same time, Boston got gifted a lot of calls. I'm just going to be honest, just like the Nuggets do sometimes too. Again, the Nuggets won the game. OKC can't shoot the way that they did and obviously win, but my goodness, the calls that the Nuggets were getting in the second quarter, ridiculous. I won't forget, Thunder up 12 points with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Shea gets hit with 2 fouls. He comes out the game, and the Nuggets go on a 12-3 run to close the half. Lou Dort hit the 3 at the buzzer, but I mean, it's just like, oh man. I'm just saying, man, officiating, they can take over games. And I didn't say anything about Game 5 of Cavs Pacers, but my goodness, the calls Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers were getting in that game, it kind of just felt like to me like, oh, okay, they're trying to get the Cavs back in this series. Just saying. And also, by the way, how much money the NBA and the New York Knicks, or especially the NBA, is going to make off this game. The Knicks are playing on Friday night on ESPN, and the cheapest ticket to get into the Garden is $650. I'm sure the NBA gets part of that revenue, obviously, from the live gate. So, I mean, I don't know. Just think about that, guys. Just think about it. Okay. I do think the Knicks win, though, tonight. And I think mainly that is around Boston's shooting. I don't think they're going to have a crazy shooting night on the road. I just don't think so. Again, Derek White, 7 for 13 from the field, from the three-point line. Jalen Brunson, 3 for 5. Peyton Pritchard, 5 for 14. Those were their big three-point shooters, again, in Game 5 in Boston. And I look at what the Knicks did, and yes, they just weren't very good from the field, right? Josh Hart was their leading scorer, and Josh Hart actually had some big three-pointers to really keep the Knicks in the game in the third quarter at times, and even, again, hitting some big shots in the second to keep that game close and actually extend that Knicks lead at one point in the second quarter as well, right? Josh Hart, again, 24 points in that game, led New York in scoring. They just need to be better from beyond the arc. I mean, I know, again, you could look at the final, percent. Oh, they shot 40% from the three-point line. Well, that's pretty much just coming out of Deuce McBride and Josh Hart, right? Josh Hart's 5 for 9 and Deuce McBride's 3 for 6. Brunson needs to be better. Had a good game, had a decent game, but obviously couldn't play in the third quarter and in the early fourth because of the foul trouble. But Brunson, right, goes 7 for 17 from the field, 1 for 4 from the three-point line. And again, he did get to the line. Same with Cat, but both those guys need to shoot a little bit better. And same with Anunoby and Mikal Bridges as well. I mean, these numbers out of OG Anunoby and Bridges just aren't very good. I mean, the Knicks better have Suni Lee courtside for this game because we can't have OG Anunoby shooting 1 for 12 from the field and 1 for 5 from the three-point line. We just can't have that. Mikal Bridges as well, who I understand does wonders for this team defensively and the effort that he brings, but we need a better shooting night out of Mikal Bridges. We cannot see a 4 for 14 and a 1 for 3 from the three-point line again. We just can't have that. The bench unit, I mean, it's not like there is a bench unit. It's Mitchell Robinson and it's Miles McBride. I will say something about Mitchell Robinson. I did say earlier in the series after game number 3 in which the Knicks lost and the Celtics completely went hack-a-shack on Mitchell Robinson and forced him to go to the free throw line. I did say at the time, I was like, all right, I think Mitchell Robinson's unplayable. I understand. He's a great defensive asset. He's going to grab every single rebound for you, but I just don't know if he can't make a free throw. What are we going to do? Mitchell Robinson goes 6 for 6 from the free throw line in game number 5. The Celtics will 100% still try to hack him and still try to get him to the line, but it's not just automatic. At best, he's making 1 of 2 anymore. Robinson has shown improved free throw shooting as of late, especially just in that last game, and it's no longer an automatic miss for him at the line. So I don't think that's something that Boston can rely on anymore. I'm sure they'll go to it because they'd rather obviously hack him than give Mitchell Robinson an easy dunk, or even if the Knicks are already in the bonus, you might as well put Robinson at the line rather than Jalen Brunson potentially get to the line, or Brunson taking a shot. Obviously, you much rather just take your chances on the Robinson free throws, but that is a positive that can be looked at for the New York Knicks. It's like, all right, this is something that, again, we're not going to rely on, but if needed, we think Mitchell Robinson can at least hit, I'm serious, 50% of the free throws that he takes, unlike what he did in game number 3 back in the Garden, in Madison Square Garden. I guess they're both the Garden, Boston, New York. But regardless, right? I think Jalen Brunson has a better night tonight. I think he does. And I don't think we get him fouling out. I don't think we get the 5 fouls in the third quarter again. I've been waiting for Cat to have a really good shooting night in this series. He's been great. I thought he's been good. 3-point wise, he hasn't been the best, and I get it. A lot of people don't want Cat to take, at least the media. Charles Barkley says this all the time. I don't think Cat should be shooting as much as he does. In all fairness, he hasn't really shot the ball that much recently in the series, and he was great in the Detroit series, especially in game 4, I believe, against Detroit. He had some big 3-pointers. But I would like to see, again, more consistency out of him, especially out of newbie. Bridges with the mid-range game plus the 3-point ball as well, and obviously Jalen Brunson too. But I think, again, I said this when Tatum went out and when the Celtics went down 3-1, I don't think they have enough to win 3 consecutive games. Sure, they got game 5, they were at home, they had the hometown crowd, they had the boost, that's fine. I don't think they're able to do that again, and especially in New York this time around. That crowd's going to be electric. They know they're 1 win away from the Eastern Conference Finals, and they will host game number 1 on Wednesday against the Indiana Pacers if they are able to win this game as well. I think they're going to do it, and I think the Pacers beat this team in another 5 or 6 games, if I'm being honest with you. I know, again, 5 sounds kind of crazy, but I really wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I think Indiana is levels ahead of New York. Honestly, as someone who is actively rooting for the Pacers right now, I actually rather have the Knicks than the Celtics at this point. Even with Tatum being out, I'd much rather play the Knicks. Much rather. Guys, again, I went over this. Indiana is a better version of Boston right now. The Knicks will not stand a damn chance against the Pacers. Trust me. Like that. You thought we were hammering Pacers against the Cavs? We will absolutely hammer Pacers versus the Knicks. I don't know what line we're going to get for that series, but that's going to feel automatic. Just trust me. But anyways, I just don't think the Celtics are able to put together the shooting night that they had in game number 5. I think that's a combination of a couple things. Okay, you're in Boston. Home crowd's all there for you, obviously, right? You're building off, you're feeding off that environment. And 2, it's the immediate response to the Tatum injury. It's okay, we got to find a way to win for Tatum, which is great. But now again, that honeymoon of winning just 1 game and the feel-good story is over. Now reality's setting in, and you got to go to New York and beat this team to just force a game number 7. And I get it. A lot of pressure's on the Knicks as well, right? If you lose this game, then you're going on the road for a winner-go-home game. But I do think they handle them, and I just don't think the Celtics are ready to rise to the occasion in this spot without their star. So give me the New York Knicks to win this game. And ultimately, guys, I'm not going to lie to you, I feel like this game really depends on Derek White. I think he's a huge factor in this game. If Derek White has a magnet ball in this series and randomly it's everything, in this game, then maybe New York's in trouble. But if Derek White, again, if Derek White doesn't have 25 points, I think the Knicks are fine. I think they are. Let's say like 27. Yeah. If Derek White doesn't score 27, I think the Knicks are going to be okay. That's the magic number for me. And I think New York's going to be able to hold him. So expect Brunson to come through. Expect Mikal Bridges to be better. And expect, Karl Anthony Towns to have a night as well. Give me New York at home at Madison Square Garden to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals with a victory over the Knicks. -2.5 or just -145 on the money line as well. I've seen that line from anywhere from about high 130s to 145. So play it as you will. But give me, again, the New York Knicks at home against the Boston Celtics. So folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions and best bet here for game number 6 between the Knicks and the Celtics. We'll be back on Sunday for game 7 in Oklahoma City between the Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. There's no NBA action tomorrow, so we'll see you on Sunday again for the Western Conference semifinals and potentially Monday for Knicks Celtics game 7. If not, we'll see you again on Sunday and then on Tuesday as well for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between either the Timberwolves or Denver or OKC. So folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.